If you are a new content creator, there are 7 content marketing mistakes to avoid if you want to grow an audience and make money online. I'm very aware of all 7 of these mistakes simply because I've made them. And today, what I want to do is teach you exactly what they are and, more importantly, show you how you can avoid making them. Let's get right into the information. Mistake number 1 is not having a content strategy. Without a content strategy, you're just going to end up creating a bunch of content that's probably not related to anything, and ultimately that's going to end up with you just getting frustrated or perhaps even burned out. See, it kind of goes like this. If you have a variety of interests and you just start creating content on whatever it is you're interested in, today you might be creating content about making money online, and next week you might be talking about scrapbooking, and the week after that you might be talking about traveling to tropical destinations. Well, the issue with that is you are creating a bunch of content that's not at all related. And as a result, the platforms that you are going to be offering this content on, they don't know which audience they should be showing your content to simply because it's all over the place. So what you have to do is really get focused. You have to do what you've probably heard people talk about, which is you need to niche down. You have to get to the point where you're talking about a specific topic and then share that type of content on a regular basis. So if you have not yet decided on your niche, I highly suggest doing that. Now, once you have your niche identified, another thing that's going to allow you to do is to develop content pillars. Now, content pillars are just, topics that you're going to be talking about on a regular basis that your audience is going to be interested in and could benefit from learning that information. So the good thing about developing content pillars is it's also going to keep you on track and make sure that you stay on target with information that your audience is going to be interested in. Mistake number 2 is not planning your content out 2 weeks at a minimum in advance, and preferably 30 days in advance. Here's what's likely to happen to you, because it certainly happened to me. You look up, it's 3 p.m., you haven't posted anything, and you should have posted something by now. So now the scramble is on to find a piece of content that is going to be interesting and relevant to your target audience. Well, that is definitely not the way that you want to conduct business. And it's certainly not efficient, because now you're scrambling when you really could be doing something else if your content had been not only planned out, but also was scheduled and ready to go. Here's what I do and what I suggest you do. Every month, I want you to book a window of time of about 2 hours simply for the purposes of planning your content for the upcoming month. Now, the good thing about doing it this way is you will have the opportunity to really think through what it is that you want to focus on for that upcoming month. So the first thing I do is I decide on 4 topics that I want to focus on, 1 for each week. Now, for me, these are going to be YouTube videos. In my videos, I'm typically going to have 3 to 5 points or steps that I'm going to be sharing with my audience. Now, by having a strategy where you're doing this, you already know what those video topics are going to be for each week. And now each of those points is also going to be something that allows me to create content for other platforms. Each of those points can become an individual short video. So it can be used for Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. Let's say, for example, I'm planning to do 20 shorts or reels for the upcoming month. If I do 4 videos and each one of them has 5 points, well, there's my 20 topics. But it doesn't stop there, because also what I'm able to do is to create content for other platforms, if I choose to do so, that uses those same 4 major topics and 5 points for each individual video. Mistake number 3 is not creating your content in batches. If you've never tried batching, I highly encourage you to do it. It wasn't until I learned the strategy and the secrets behind why batching is so powerful that I started to really get some traction with not only building my audience, but also being able to create content in a much faster way. Now, what exactly is batching? It's just where you take and you do similar tasks all at one time. So, for example, when I'm batch creating, let's say I'm doing a YouTube video. I'm not going to record just one YouTube video. I'm going to record two. Why? Because if you've got to get everything all set up and you've got to do makeup and everything else, it just makes sense to take full advantage of already being ready to do so. Same thing, if you are creating one blog post, create two if you're able to do so. If you are creating carousel posts for Instagram, don't create just one, create two or three or perhaps four. Some of the benefits of batching your content are going to include efficiency. You're also going to get that creative spark going all at one time, and you will just get things done faster. Why is that? Because you're going to find yourself getting into a flow state. What tends to happen when you get into that flow state is you're able to do things much more efficiently, much faster, and the creative juices are flowing. So you may as well get multiple things done at one time. So tell me in the comments, are you currently batching your content? And if so, how does it help you by doing so? Now, mistake number 4 was not being consistent with my content creation and posting to social media. It is very difficult to build an audience when you're not being consistent, because what tends to happen is, you show up and you deliver some great content and people become interested in it, and then they don't hear from you for 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month or 6 months. And so now, if they still have those same questions, which they likely do, they're just going to find somebody else that can help them with the information that they're looking for. Now, regarding consistency, one of the best things you can do is to make sure that you're posting to social media pretty much at the same time every single day. If you're posting YouTube videos, post those at the same time every day. And also, if you're sending out an email newsletter, send it out on the same day at the same time each week. Being consistent on your part is definitely going to pay off, because it allows your audience to have something they can count on. They know that every Thursday you release a YouTube video, or every Tuesday your email newsletter comes out. So whatever you do, stay consistent with your content creation and your content posting schedule. Mistake number 5 was not reusing my previously created content. Yes, you absolutely can reuse your content, and you should. And one of the primary reasons for this is, let's say you're posting to Instagram or whatever social media platform. Do you realize that less than 5% of your audience is actually seeing your content? You may have created something that was just flat out awesome, but only a small percentage of people actually saw it. What you can do is take some content that you posted maybe 2 or 3 months ago and post it again. You can post it exactly as it is, maybe change up a couple of the words if you want, or you can just simply change up some of the colors. You'll be surprised at the number of individuals that are going to see that content for the very first time, even though you've posted it a second time. And even if somebody in your audience actually recognizes a piece of content that you've posted, trust me, they're probably not going to say anything to you. And even if they do, it's really no big deal. You can just come back and say, it's a remix. So have some fun with it. But I want you to be able to get to a point where this content creation process is not a struggle. And so when you take the time to create valuable content, you definitely should be reusing it. And you can also reuse your content on a different platform. Or maybe you take a post that was that really performed well, and you turn it into a reel. See, I want you to be able to get to a point where you're not on the constant hamster wheel of creating content simply because you have a life. You want to enjoy your life. And we're in this business not to be working 24/7. We're in this business to create a lifestyle that really revolves around our families, our friends, our hobbies, the things that are most important to us. And so by being able to create content one time and then use it over and over again, you're going to be surprised that some individuals who have never seen your content are going to discover it. So don't be afraid to reuse your content. Mistake number 6 was not repurposing my content. How repurposing differs from reusing is with repurposing, you're taking a piece of content and then changing the way it's going to be presented for the platform you're going to be sharing it on. So let me give you a good example. Let's say I have a YouTube video that I've created and it has 5 points. Well, as we mentioned earlier, each of those 5 points can turn into a YouTube short or a reel. Now, another thing I can do with that is I can take that same short video and I can turn around and post it on Pinterest as an idea pin or a video pin. They keep changing the names of it. Another thing I can do with that same content is I can create Instagram stories. I can also create carousel posts. I can create Facebook posts. I can create Pinterest pins. Essentially, if I have one video that has 5 points, I can create at least 35 pieces of content, and you can as well. As a matter of fact, I'm going to link to a video that I'm doing on this that shows you exactly how you can do the exact same process. I have saved mistake number 7, which really is the biggest mistake that I made as the last one. Now, mistake number 7 was not starting an email list at the very beginning. See, I want you to keep in mind something. You don't own YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, any of those. We have to have something that we own, and our email list is that something. Your email list is going to be one of the biggest ways for you to create a connection with your audience because, as you know, the know, like, and trust factor is something that you're going to build over time, but it is much easier to build it when you're communicating with your audience on a regular basis. See, people may not see each of your posts on social media, and they may not see each of your YouTube videos. They may not see your blog posts, but they'll have a better chance of seeing a message from you that is showing up in their inbox on a weekly basis. And here's something that should really make you take note. Each email address on your list is going to be worth about $1 per month in profit. So I hope that helps you understand that you really need to be creating the list because the digital products that you're creating, the courses you're creating, as you are building that know, like, and trust factor, it's going to be much easier for you to sell your audience via your email messages. So don't think that you have to wait until your audience is larger before you start to put together an email list. All that you have to do is to create a simple lead magnet. And I'm going to link a video up here, which is going to show you the step-by-step process for creating your first lead magnet and how you can actually set up your email list. You don't have to worry about what it is that you're going to communicate with your audience on a weekly basis. You can just talk about the pieces of content that you've created throughout the week, and that can be shared in your email messages. So just know you should start building your email list from the very beginning. And I think if you talk to any other successful creators, they will tell you the exact same thing. So I always like to say, well, if multiple people who are having success are saying the same thing, there's obviously some merit to it. So don't wait. Building your email list early in the game is really going to be protection as well, because who's to say that you won't get, kicked off of the social media platforms that you're on? Who's to say that someone won't hack your account and you can no longer access the accounts that you have worked so hard to build followers on? So to me, when you're building strictly on social media platforms, That is like building a house on rented land that can be taken away from you at any time. Well, instead of doing that, what we really want to do is to have something that we own, and that's what our email list is designed to do. See, you own that email list. So if anything ever happens, you don't lose connection with the people who have become part of your audience. Instead, you have a way to communicate with them. I know of a huge content creator that is very successful who shared this lesson about why it is so important to create an email list. And it was because she ended up getting locked out of her social media accounts after a big hack occurred. And so, fortunately, she had an email list. And so all she had to do was to send out an email message to reconnect with people, let them know what happened, and let them know where they could then begin the process of following her. So there you have it, the 7 content marketing mistakes to avoid. Now, if you're enjoying this type of content, you'll definitely want to check out this video next, where I walk you through the 5 types of content that are most effective for growing an audience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.